My dad's fiancée said, "You're not welcome here. This is my house now." After Dad remarried, I said, "I understand what Dad chose when he had to pick between us." I stood in the doorway of my childhood home holding the spare key I'd had since I was 12. Melody, Dad's new wife of 3 months, blocked the entrance with her yoga-toned body and fresh Botox. "Like I said, you can't just drop by anymore," she said, examining her gel manicure. "This is my house now. Your father and I need boundaries." Behind her I could see my mom's piano still in the living room, the growth marks on the kitchen doorframe, my basketball hoop in the driveway. But apparently, none of that mattered anymore. "I texted Dad I was coming," I said. "Well, he didn't tell me, and as the lady of the house, I need to approve all visitors." "Visitors? In the house where I learned to walk. Is Dad home?" "He's napping, and I won't have you disturbing him." "I understand," I said, pocketing the key. "I'll call first next time." Her smile was triumphant. "Actually, I'll need that key, for security." I handed it over without argument. She probably expected a fight. Instead, I turned and walked back to my car, already planning. Mom died 3 years ago, cancer. Dad grieved hard, and I moved back home for a year to help him through it. We got closer than we'd ever been, 2 guys figuring out life without the woman who held us together. Then, 18 months ago, he met Melody at some wine tasting thing. She was 38 to his 56, worked as a wellness consultant, sold essential oils on Facebook, and had the kind of aggressive energy that mistook volume for personality. The red flags started early. She'd accidentally forget to tell me about family dinners, mixed up dates when I was supposed to visit. Always had emergencies when Dad and I had plans. But Dad was lonely, and Melody was attractive and attentive. They married fast, 6 months from meeting to wedding. I wasn't asked to be in the wedding party. Melody said it would be weird, since her sons were already groomsmen. Oh yeah, she had 2 sons, Brendan, 19, and Tyler, 17. They moved in immediately after the wedding. Suddenly, my childhood home had new occupants who treated it like a hotel. The day after the key incident, I called Dad at his office. "Hey buddy?" He sounded happy to hear from me. "Sorry about yesterday. Melody said you stopped by?" "Yeah, wanted to grab my old baseball glove from the garage. Season's starting." "Oh, well, come by anytime. You know you're always welcome." "Melody said I need to schedule visits through her now." Pause. "She's just adjusting. You know how it is, new family dynamics." "Sure, Dad. Hey, you free for lunch Thursday?" "Absolutely. Our usual place?" We'd been getting lunch every Thursday for 2 years. Same diner, same booth, same orders. Our tradition from when Mom was sick. Thursday came. Dad didn't show. Called his cell. Melody answered. "Oh, Theo, your father's under the weather. Must have eaten something bad. Can I talk to him?" "He's sleeping. I'll have him call you." He didn't call. Texted later. "Sorry, bud, stomach bug, rain check?" This became a pattern. Dad would make plans, then cancel last minute. Always through Melody. Always vague excuses. Meanwhile, I started hearing things through family friends. Brendan had taken over my old room, turned it into a gaming paradise. Tyler was using Mom's art studio as a party space. Dad was paying for both kids' expenses, cars, insurance, spending money. But the real slap came from my cousin Jade, who worked at the bank. "Theo, I shouldn't tell you this, but your dad added Melody to all his accounts. And she's been moving money, a lot of money." "How much?" "I can't say exactly, but she opened accounts in just her name, and there are daily transfers hitting the max limit." Dad had worked his whole life building his contracting business. Mom's life insurance went into his retirement fund. Now Melody was siphoning it. I tried talking to him, called his office directly. "Dad, we need to discuss finances." "What about them?" "Just making sure everything's secure, you know, with the new family situation." "Melody handles all that now. She's better with numbers than me." "Melody, who sold pyramid scheme oils, better with numbers than a man who ran a successful business for 30 years. "Dad, when's the last time you checked your accounts?" "Theodore." He only used my full name when annoyed. "I don't appreciate the implication. Melody is my wife." "I'm not implying anything, just worried." "Well, don't be. I've got to go. Client meeting." He hung up. Later, got a text from Melody. "Your father is very upset by your accusations. This harassment needs to stop." I hadn't accused anyone of anything, yet. 2 weeks later, Dad's birthday arrived. I'd planned a surprise dinner at his favorite steakhouse, invited his brothers, his best friend, reserved the private room, everything. Day of, I called to confirm he'd be free. Melody answered. Again. Oh, tonight won't work. We're having a family celebration. I'm family. Immediate family, you understand. I'm his son. And I'm his wife. The family dynamics have shifted, Theo. You need to accept that. Can I at least drop off his gift? Mail it. We're quite busy preparing. I drove by that night. No cars in the driveway, except Dad's truck and Melody's Mercedes, new of course. No party. Lights off by 9 p.m. Posted on Facebook the next day. Amazing birthday dinner with the whole family. Photos of Dad, Melody, and her sons at the steakhouse. The same one I'd booked. She'd stolen my reservation. Called and claimed to be me, changed it to her name. That's when I stopped playing defense. First, I pulled public records. The house, my childhood home, was in Dad's name alone. Mom had insisted on that, said it should go to me if anything happened. Dad had verbally promised the same, but property records showed Melody was pushing for refinancing. New mortgage applications with both names. Dad resisting so far, but for how long? Next, I documented everything. Every canceled plan, every unanswered call, every financial red flag. Built a timeline showing how she'd systematically isolated him. Then I played the long game. Started showing up at Dad's job site, couldn't block me from public property, and Dad's crew had known me since I was 10. Brought coffee and donuts, chatted with the guys. Haven't seen you around the house lately, his foreman Rick mentioned. Yeah, Melody prefers I call first now. That woman. Rick shook his head. Your dad seems tired lately, stressed. He mention anything? Just that money's tight, which is weird. We've got more contracts than ever. Money tight while business boomed. Wonder where it was going. Started timing my visits for when I knew Melody was at her wellness workshops, MLM meetings. Dad was always happy to see me but nervous. Maybe don't mention to Melody you were here, he'd say. She gets anxious about unexpected guests. Dad, it's me, not some stranger. I know, but just easier this way. Easier. My father, who once stood up to a client twice his size for disrespecting Mom, now tiptoeing around his new wife. The breaking point came during what was supposed to be Mom's death anniversary. We always visited her grave together, left yellow roses, her favorite. Dad didn't show. No call, no text. I waited at the cemetery for 2 hours. Finally called his office. Secretary said he'd taken a personal day. Called his cell. Straight to voicemail. Went to the house. Melody's car was gone, but Dad's truck was there. Rang the doorbell. No answer. Still had my garage door code. She hadn't thought to change that. Found Dad in his workshop, building a bookshelf. He looked up, surprised. Theo, what are you doing here? It's Mom's anniversary. His face crumbled. Oh God, Melody said it was next week. Dad, it's the same date every year. I know, she handles the calendar now. She handles everything now, doesn't she? He set down his tools, looked older than his 56 years. What do you want me to say? How about the truth? When's the last time you saw your brothers, your friends? When's the last time you checked your bank balance? That's enough. Is it? Because from where I'm standing, you're being isolated and robbed by a woman half your age who's got you too scared to even meet your son for lunch. Get out. I'd never heard him yell like that. Not even during Mom's worst days. She's standing right behind me, isn't she? He nodded slightly. I turned. Melody in the doorway, arms crossed, smirking. You heard your father. Get out, and don't come back. This isn't your call. Actually, it is. Robert, tell him. Dad looked at the floor. Maybe it's best if you stay away for a while. Dad. Just go, Theo. Please. I left. But not before making eye contact with Melody. She'd won this round, but the game wasn't over. That night, I called Dad's lawyer. Turns out, Melody had been pressuring Dad to update his will. Everything to her. I was to get sentimental items only. The lawyer, who'd known our family for decades, was concerned but couldn't breach confidentiality beyond that warning. Time for nuclear options. Remember Brendan and Tyler, Melody's precious boys? Turns out they weren't angels. Brendan had a drug arrest Melody had hidden from Dad. Tyler had been expelled from 2 schools for selling exam answers. But here's the kicker. Found their dad on social media. Melody had told Dad he was dead. Nope. Alive, well, and very interested to hear his ex-wife had remarried without finalizing their divorce. Yeah, Melody was still legally married to husband number 1. Contacted him. Garrett was surprisingly chill for a guy whose wife disappeared with his kids 5 years ago. She cleaned out our accounts and ran, he said. Told everyone I was abusive, even got a restraining order based on lies. By the time I cleared my name, she'd moved states. And the divorce? Never finalized. She stopped responding to lawyers. I gave up, figured, good riddance. Would you be willing to share documentation? Brother, I'll share everything. That woman destroyed my life. While building that case, I kept tabs on the house situation. Melody was getting desperate. Dad wouldn't add her to the deed, so she started playing dirty. Suddenly, Dad was having memory issues. Melody told neighbors he was showing signs of dementia, suggested to his crew he might need to retire, started accompanying him to doctor's appointments, speaking for him. Then she made her mistake. Posted in a private Facebook group for bonus moms, screenshot courtesy of my ex who infiltrated it, bragging about how she was this close to getting power of attorney, how her stubborn husband would sign everything over once his mental decline was documented. She was planning to have him declared incompetent. Time to end this. Compiled everything. Evidence of bigamy. Financial records showing systematic theft. Screenshots of her posts about manipulating Dad. Statements from Garrett about her past. Timeline of Dad's isolation. Proof she'd lied about her first husband being dead. But I didn't go to Dad first. Went to Rick and the crew, showed them everything. These guys had worked with Dad for decades. They were furious. We wondered why he'd been acting strange, Rick said. That witch has been drugging him or something? Or gaslighting him into thinking he's losing it. They hatched a plan. Next day at work, they staged an intervention. Told Dad they were worried about him. Rick drove him to my apartment, said they needed to talk privately. Dad was angry at first. Then I showed him everything. The bigamy certificate, the bank records, her Facebook posts planning to steal his business, Garrett's testimony about her past. He stared at the papers for a long time. I'm an idiot, he finally said. You're lonely. She took advantage. Your mother would be so disappointed. Mom would understand. She'd also probably have kicked Melody's ass by now. He actually smiled at that. Then the anger hit. She's stealing from me, trying to take my house, your house, kept me from my son. What do you want to do? I want her gone, today. We called Dad's lawyer. With the bigamy evidence, annulment was possible. The financial theft would be criminal charges, but first, securing assets. Dad called the bank from my apartment, froze all accounts, removed her access, canceled credit cards, changed passwords on everything. Then we went to the house, with Rick and 3 other guys from the crew, and a police officer, just in case. Melody was lounging by the pool that she'd had installed with Dad's money. Robert, what are you doing home? And why are these people here? Dad handed her the bigamy certificate. Pack your things, you have 1 hour. Her face went through about 10 emotions, settled on indignant rage. You can't just throw me out. I have rights. You have no rights. You're not legally my wife. You're a bigamist and a thief. I'll sue you for everything. With what lawyer? I canceled your credit cards, and good luck explaining to a judge why you're still married to Garrett. She turned on me. This is you. You poisoned him against me. No, you did that yourself. I just provided evidence. Brendan and Tyler came out, saw the cop, immediately got defensive. Mom, what's happening? Your stepfather is having some kind of breakdown. I'm not their stepfather, Dad said calmly. Never was. Boys, your mom lied to you too. Your dad's alive. Here's his number if you want it. Tyler grabbed the paper. Brendan looked stunned. You said he was dead. Melody tried damage control. I was protecting you. He was dangerous. Then why'd you never divorce him? I asked. The boys pieced it together. The younger one, Tyler, actually apologized to Dad. We didn't know, she said. She said a lot of things. They helped her pack, but the dynamic had shifted. Even they saw her for what she was now. She left screaming about lawsuits and revenge. Dad had the locks changed that night. Filed for annulment the next morning. The criminal charges took longer, but she'd stolen over $200. That's grand larceny. She's currently awaiting trial, living with her sister, 2 states away. Brendan and Tyler reached out to their dad. Turns out Garrett's a decent guy who'd been searching for them for years. They moved back with him. Dad and I resumed our Thursday lunches. He joined a grief support group. Should have done that after mom died instead of jumping into dating. Started therapy too. The house feels like home again. We renovated it together, removed all traces of Melody, restored mom's art studio, even fixed up my old room, though I don't need it anymore. I almost lost everything, Dad said one day while we painted. Not just money, you, myself, your mom's memory. Almost doesn't count. How'd you stay so calm? I kept pushing you away, and you just kept showing up. Learned from mom. Remember when you were being stubborn about going to the doctor? She didn't nag, just made appointments and drove you there. He laughed. Stubborn runs in the family. So does protecting each other. We don't talk about Melody much now. She's just an expensive lesson in loneliness and manipulation. Dad's dating again, someone his own age from the grief group. Taking it slow this time. Last week got a message from an unknown number. Melody, from a friend's phone. You destroyed my life. I hope you're happy. Didn't respond. Just screenshotted it for the lawyer and blocked the number. She destroyed her own life the moment she decided to prey on a grieving widower. I just held up a mirror. Dad's teaching me the contracting business now. Says he wants to semi-retire, have me take over gradually. We work side by side, building things instead of tearing them down. The house is in a trust now, ironclad. When Dad goes, it passes to me just like mom wanted. No future Melodies can touch it. Sometimes karma needs a little push, and sometimes the best revenge is just exposing the truth and letting